Welcome to the intersection of Black culture and horticulture with your girl, Colah be talking. And guess what, y'all? We Black in the garden. From WABE Studios, welcome to Black in the Garden, the intersection between Black culture and horticulture. I'm your host, Colah be talking, and today's episode is a bit personal for me because we're talking about one of my favorite plants, the palms. All right, palm trees. I grew up in Florida, and growing up in Florida, palms were everywhere. If you're listening to this and you grew up in a climate similar to me, then you may be able to relate to how palms are not just trees. Palms were a part of your very landscape of memory. And I remember traveling and living in different parts of the country, but no matter where I went, I've always noticed palms in every region. Each one sparks a piece of home and a little hints of adventure. So as a child, I never really realized just how many different types of palms were around me. It wasn't until my curiosity about what I could grow and how these plants connected me to a broader world that I truly began to appreciate their diversity. And what fascinates me the most is how palms are interwoven into the lives and the cultures of the African diaspora, playing such a vital role in traditions and cultural identity for people of African descent. Joining me today is the guy who always makes sure that we're watering ourselves, Plant Zaddy.
Yes. And I'm excited to jump into this because, I spend so much time around plants.
Yeah.
And I think that when we dive into one specific breed, that's where the real education can go deep and wide. So, you have your own, history and connection. So I'm really excited to get into this education.
I appreciate that. So you're ready for all the palm goodness?
Yes, let's get our palms wet.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a global tour of palms today. We're going to get our palms wet. I love that so much. We're going to be covering how they're used as a food source in textiles and in traditional medicine. And I'm going to share a little bit of palm tea and some details. And we're just really going to have a good time and round out this conversation with a little bit of culture to really get our palms wet today. We're going to just lead with a few facts, 3 fun facts about palms. Just have a good time with that. And then we're really going to get into the meat of this episode. Palms are so significant culturally that they appear on several flags. They appear on the Florida flag. Some of y'all know that. Guam, Haiti, South Carolina, and even Saudi Arabia. And in Haiti, the royal palm was once at the center of the national coat of arms, representing strength and independence after the world's first successful slave rebellion.
And that's powerful within itself, that Haiti would really use that symbol. The fact that so many, lands around have seen the symbol of a palm as powerful and really embrace the palm tree as a part of the national identity says a lot. And it's a reminder that nature not only is a symbol of beautification, but a sign of resilience, a sign of power and strength.
We love power and strength.
Definitely.
For sure. So let's get into another fun fact about palms. All right. So growing up in Florida, or you didn't have to grow up in Florida, you've seen the news where there's coverage of natural disasters, storms, in particular, hurricanes in Florida. And maybe you've seen that footage where you see the palm trees kind of like whipping in the wind.
Yes.
That is such a powerful image, but it is definitely an image of resilience because palms are hurricane proof. Their flexible trunks and their feathery fronds allow them to bend with intense winds rather than break. So I find that so remarkable. I mean, I think considering the way that life has played out for me and my upbringing around these particular trees, and that fun fact really being a specific indicator of the resilience of palms, I identify with that in some kind of
Absolutely.
way. I know you feel what I'm saying.
Yeah. And you didn't mention another thing, but the strength within their roots.
Right.
Because the roots have to be grounded and thick, and they go long and they're strong. So the foundation of a palm, no matter how tall they are, has to be very strong. And I think just like birds of paradise, we're going to stick on palm trees, but birds of paradises are built to be able to withstand the wind, and the leaves are able to tear and not hurt or harm the plant.
Right.
So, with the things that we go through on a daily basis, it may look like it's damaged, but it's just showing the true story behind the strength of the plant and the strength of you as a person.
I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've even seen palm trees where it had been completely knocked over, speaking to that root system, where it seemed like the tree was disconnected from the ground, but somehow the roots were attaching back.
Yeah,
and it kind of makes me think of like The Predator, like you see that movie
Yes.
where it gets cut and then all the veins like pull back together. Palms could literally do that for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. We love some resilience. So let's get into another fun fact. So some palm species, like the date palm, have been cultivated for over 5,000 years. In fact, scientists have successfully sprouted date seeds that were found in ancient tombs.
Yeah. So that's a Black history moment that I think we should stick to for a second.
Let's get into
because just like African knowledge and traditions have survived for centuries, these seeds have waited thousands of years to do what?
To grow.
To grow, right. So they know proper timing. They know sustainability. They know how to wait until it's time to sprout up. So, and grow again. But our culture is kind of just the same way, rooted in longevity. And I think that we have to keep that consistent theme throughout every day.
You are really breaking it down.
I mean, that's what I'm here for. But we definitely carry the past into the future.
Absolutely.
As people. So, the things that our ancestors have, laid the foundation for or have shown us, we have to keep that into remembrance every single day.
Absolutely. We would be remiss to forget. So another fun fact, this is the last one before we get into the episode, about the coco de mer. De mer, M-E-R. This is a palm tree that is typically found around the Seychelles. That's in Africa. It's an island off of the coast of Africa, in fact. And that palm produces a very large seed. In fact, the largest seed of any plant in the world. Isn't that an amazing fun fact about palms?
Yeah.
So the coco de mer palm produces the world's biggest and heaviest seed. It can get anywhere between 40 to 90 pounds, and it takes between 6 to 10 years to fully develop.
That's longevity, baby.
And it's a beautiful seed. I actually looked at some images of it, and it's an interesting description.
I've seen it too. It's like art.
It really does look like art. Like
Front
when I
side
first
and
saw
back
it, I
side.
was just like, who was the sculptor for this? God.
Okay.
Okay.
And he was embodying a woman.
Interesting that we are comparing like the female form to art. So this is an interesting intersection between plants, feminine beauty, and art. And there's absolutely a connection there, but it looks like, that curvy part of the woman when she's standing, looking at her from the front. We're not being perverted, y'all, but the curvy part of like the woman's hips and like that area right where the crotch dips. We're just going to keep it very simple like that. But it looks like a very shapely woman's hips.
Yes, it's giving bottom of a Coca-Cola bottle.
Bottom of a Coca-Cola bottle. So shout out to the Coco de Mer palm for being all of those amazing things.
Love it.
All right. So let's get into everything else we came here to talk about.
Let's go.
All this palm goodness. Let's get our palms wet, right?
Uh-huh.
I love palms just as much as I love food. So let's start with palms as a food source. And for the sake of time, we are including beverage here because I want to think of it as a combo, right? Food and beverage. You see what I did there?
Yes.
So let's take the coconut, for example. So the coconut is everywhere. It's in tropical regions. It's providing food, water, even oil. And if you know anything about food in the Caribbean, Southeastern Asia, and parts of Africa, then you understand that the coconut is truly a staple.
Yeah.
Whether it's coconut milk and curries, dried coconut meat, just like there's so many ways to consume it, whether it be coconut water to quench your thirst from looking at all the beautiful people on the island.
Yes.
I know you're having a little flashback from your last trip somewhere.
I mean, but coconuts are really a whole vibe, within itself. Like you said, there's so many different aspects of a coconut that can be used. Cocoa,
right?
Yes. Coconut water, or even how it transforms so many dishes with the coconut milk in so many different cultures. So and it also, matter of fact, because I am I would say vegan-ish, I do eat cheese, but it helps us be able to create dishes and still be able to have that texture of milk without consuming a animal byproduct.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
it's coconut milk is coming through and providing a very tasty alternative
Yeah.
for the vegans.
Absolutely.
Who want to add that extra flavor, and it tastes better than cow milk anyway.
I'm gonna let you have that one, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you let me have that.
Yes.
So now let's talk about the date palm. I know that dates are not your favorite, but they have a long history, right? Dates have been harvested for thousands of years in regions like the Middle East and North Africa and in arid desert areas. Dates are a very reliable and nutrient-packed food source. You can even make date syrup with them and flavor your teas and things. We were just talking with our producer about that.
Yes.
And of course, they're nature's very own candy, being so sweet. Have I convinced you?
No. So I will say I may not like dates because I do not like raisins, and they are just like a big fat raisin to me. But you have to appreciate how many things they can be used for. Like, they are naturally sweet, and they've been nourishing communities for centuries and generations. So, it is kind of like an evolution of I'm gonna have to evolve my taste buds. How about that?
So you would be willing to reconsider?
You kind of got me with the syrup.
Because the syrup is hard. It's sweet.
But,
it's an it's a healthier, more nutrient-rich alternative to sugar.
We'll see. Maybe I'll taste it on the next episode. Maybe.
All right. Well, let's just move on to the oil palm. All right. Isn't that amazing? Like, just in talking about the food and drink, we've talked about three different palms.
I was about to say, yeah.
I told y'all I love palms.
Yeah.
Okay. So getting our palms wet, we're going to continue with the oil palm, which is crucial in West Africa and parts of Southeast Asia. Oil palm gives us palm oil. All right. Obviously, for those who weren't keeping up, it's found in everything from snacks to soap. And while it's a major global crop, it also reminds us to think about sustainability and the impact on our environment. These oil palms are grown in areas, the amount of space that it takes to grow those palms is significantly less than how much space it takes to grow other types of crops that would be relied upon for oil.
But honestly, this conversation definitely is a reminder that what we consume affects the planet in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And why it's so important to really remain and support those sustainable practices on a daily basis, because I didn't know that. And when you think about how farmers do use, or growers in general use land, they would want to grow the things that they can condense more. Yeah, exactly. Grow more and produce more. Because at the end of the day, it is about the dollar, but it's also how can we be more sustainable?
Yes. How can we be more sustainable? And we definitely need to be considerate when we're talking about the cultivation of a plant en masse, of crop rotation.
Yes.
So we're not just depleting the land of the soil in the way that we do when we don't rotate those crops.
Yeah.
So next up, we're going to talk about textiles.
Ooh.
I like this shirt.
Yes, and shout out to Melissa, I guess ABO Creations, Melissa Mitchell, because she created this beautiful shirt from art to textile, to clothing, to purses, to rugs.
Yes.
But using her, anything, cups, anything. But she used her love and passion for artwork in order to expand her reach through clothing. So really, she's like an artist, a fashion designer. She's everything. So shout out to your mentor, sister. I love you.
I know that's right. Many might not realize that palms also give us materials for things like weaving, right? I know you know about coconut coir, right? But let's think about the coir fiber from the coconut palms. For example, that can be used, as you just mentioned with Melissa, it's used to make mats, ropes, and even mattresses. That coir can do a lot.
Yes. And we love something that can be used in so many different ways. But even, I think this would be good for you, because I've seen the coir mats used in gardening. And that's something that's just very versatile.
So we're just continuing on with the practicality of the resources, the materials that come from coconuts. Some indigenous cultures even use the fibers to create traditional clothing, keeping ancient crafts alive.
Yep.
In Central Africa, Raffia cloth weaving is a key textile tradition, especially in the Kuba community, that's Kuba, of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And this is made from the fibers of the raffia palm. The fabric plays an important role in the cultural practices of that region. So I want to give a quick shout out to CIAFE.org. CIAFE is the way I see it in my mind. But it is a think and do tank dedicated to advancing and decentralizing fashion education and research in Africa in order to advance Africa's fashion ecosystem and propel sustainable development and economic growth.
I mean, from food to functional art, I'm trying to be like a palm tree, okay?
I love that.
Because to be able to be of value in so many different aspects of life, like, I mean, goodness.
I like how you put that.
Yeah.
Be like a palm.
I'm trying to be like a palm tree, baby.
Because palms are associated with relaxation, vacation, luxury. I wanted to keep a few more Asians going because I was trying to get poetic, but luxury.
All the different, woven baskets, the strength of a palm and the leaves in general. We haven't even talked about the bark and everything else. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, and let's just highlight this as well, okay?
Of course.
The resourcefulness of different cultures.
I know that's right.
Different cultures use it in different ways. But like I said, the versatility within whatever culture it is, you can find something that you need within it.
Yeah. Something for everybody, whether you're trying to have a little sip, a little bite, or you just need something to put on.
Yeah.
I know that's right. A basket. Be like a palm, y'all. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about palms in traditional medicine, because oftentimes palms are viewed primarily as symbols of, like I said, luxury and beauty, but they do have medicinal properties and they have been crucial for survival in many African and Caribbean communities. For instance, palm sap has been long used for its healing qualities. You ever heard anything about that?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit more right quick. Palm sap can be fermented into a toddy. Is that how you've been applying?
No, baby, not that one.
Oh,
come on, tell me more.
Palm wine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're talking about medicinals. Okay, so it's also used in local remedies for digestive issues and other ailments. You trying to get me? Come on now.
Fail.
So while many think of palms in terms of their symbolism, it's their practical and their medicinal uses that have truly sustained communities.
I mean, that's interesting. So thank you for that. Because, I was going down a whole nother path.
It's okay. You was thinking about that toddy.
Yeah. I mean, I've always associated, palm trees with tropical vibes and beach scenes. But right now we're talking about how it serves as literal tools and healing devices.
Yes. When it comes to the consumption of coconut products, palm products are generally associated with health.
Yeah.
Especially when I think about like a coconut water. I've given my babies that when they were dealing with dehydration. Babies get sick. Even my adult self getting sick and needing to get rehydrated. Things like that, is definitely healing qualities there. And I also remember reading about, I'll call it lore, when I was breastfeeding my kids. For some cultures, it has been said that coconut water can be used in replacement of breast milk. Yes. Yes. This is lore, not medical advice by any stretch. But just thinking about the concept of people who have done that, that means that they have put their trust in this very miraculous resource in order to trust that it could sustain their babies. So there is more. We're going to get into palm oil now. Okay. So despite its controversies, and the controversies specifically having to do with how palm oil is also associated with the hydrogenated oils, those trans fats that have been controversial in the news, palm oil has been a traditional African medicine that has been used for wound healing and energy boosting when it's used in foods or in topical treatments. That's when we're putting it on the skin. Even the palm heart, which is the inner core of certain palms, has been used and valued for its anti-inflammatory properties. Yeah. So especially in places like Brazil.
It sounds like we need to start putting some respect on that name. Okay.
If you haven't put respect on palms by now, then I'm going to need you to reevaluate your thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Because the effects of health, like you said, even from a child's birth and helping them be more nourished if a mother cannot provide, it's there.
I love that so much. And just as you mentioned that again, no, I did not feed my infants coconut water. We did pretty good with the breastfeeding, and no shame to mothers who opt for that supplemental
Absolutely
formula.
not.
Yeah.
But just know that these plants go truly far beyond being decorative.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's coming from Plant Zaddy. I've used them many of times. I mean, there's one back here. But if I could learn how to chop it up and use it and be beneficial to me on a daily basis, well, let's do it.
And I imagine that this is going to add even more depth to the conversations that you're having with your clients, because you'll be able to, share some of these fun palm facts with them as you're saying, hey, this palm is not just cute in this corner, which hopefully you're not putting it in the dark corner, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I do.
Here's a little something more that I can bless you with so you know more about the cultural significance of this particular plant. Joshua. Tell us about your favorite use for palms.
I mean, for me, I hate to say this because, I mean, this is my line of work, but they fill a space up so well. Like I was going between the difference of a cat palm and a traditional palm, and cat palms are just like fuller. They are tall, not too tall. Of course, you can get them really tall, but for stage purposes, I just love to use them in the background to be able to feel the space, forward. But I would definitely say using them for a lasting decor.
A lasting decor. I've actually created some really cool, like artistic botanical installations. And I was in Florida when I did this. And there were just so many trees around that I just went and cut a bunch of branches off. Because the cool thing about the sustainability of palm trees and plants is that they grow those leaves back, so I wasn't tearing it up too bad, but I was able to use them for the same purpose, like you said, to really add some depth, add some texture, and add dimension to what I was creating there. So really big fan of the artistic aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think we should definitely include the Soil Cousins plant fam and everybody watching out there, because if you have any family traditions or interesting stories to tell through palm, go ahead and add us on Instagram or any social media or anywhere, YouTube, and let's talk about it.
Get into all of those platforms because we want to hear from our soil cousins.
Even if it's chopping down a palm leaf and using it as a fan, baby. It was too hot, but it was there and it was resourceful for you.
Yeah. So we've had a wonderful time. We've really just taken a few moments and drifted around the globe a little bit, discussing palms and all of the beauty and the benefits that they provide to us. We truly got our palms wet. So that's it for today in this episode, Soil Cousins. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I want to make sure I remind you to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Tune in on all those platforms, from the Instagrams to the YouTube. We really want y'all to tap in there, especially. We work very hard to make it look good with our illustrious set designer, Plant Zaddy, right here. So until next time, we want to make sure that y'all are keeping on with your growing and making sure that you're loving on each other, celebrating plants. I want to wish y'all love, light, and soil. Don't go anywhere. Stay around for our watering moment with Plant Zaddy.
Plant fam, buckle up for this water moment, because this one is going to keep you nourished for weeks to come. So before we close out, let me drop a gem that you may not know about palms. They're not even trees. They're actually grasses, giant ancient tropical grasses with wood-like stems. They don't grow in rings like we know trees to do. They don't get thicker with age. Once they reach their height, that's it. But that doesn't make them weak. It makes them focused. Palms teach us that strength isn't always loud or flashy. It's about being rooted, flexible, and built for the long haul. That's Black culture all day, every day. And we bend, we adapt, we survive, we stay standing. From the royal palms of Haiti's coat of arms to raffia palms of the Congo that gave us centuries of art and fashion, we've always known how to take what grows naturally and turn it into power. Food, shelter, healing, clothing. Palms have always been holding us down globally since the beginning. So take that energy with you. Be steady. Let your strength be quiet, your purpose be clear, and your growth, let it be undeniable. You don't always have to show out to show up. And as always, Plant Fam, keep planting more and worrying less. Plant Zaddy out. We finna get wet, y'all.
Are we keeping that?
No. Oh my God. Did you read the first line? Plant Fam, this water moment is finna be wet.
You finna say that for real?
Baby, I'm about to drown you with this one. That's what I'm gonna say.
I like that. Well, not
Plant
too
Fam,
bad.
This water moment is finna drown you, so hold on.
Black in the garden. Black like the root of my hair, from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. Ay, yeah, black like the root of my hair. I'ma grow what I eat in the garden where I be, yeah. WABE.